Oh, we should be switched over to science and technology, guys. It didn't switch us over to S&T. Nope, it didn't take. Guys, I'll switch us to KSP. I'll switch us off KSP. Sorry about that if you're looking for KSP. Yeah, exactly, Bio. The box said 10 hold'll power. No, Toyota Carina Coupe. GID was a sedan like a Ford Falcon. Wisdom, you know what I want to do? I want to find a Lada. A 2102 Lada. Buy it, bring it over here, and then put a small block Chevy in it. Because I did that in Beam, and I want it. We did it in Beam, and the thing, when it went down the, like you stepped on the gas, the wheels went. I want it. I want a Lada. That would be awesome. You'd confuse the hell out of everyone. Everybody would be like, what the hell is that? I'd be like, don't worry about it. It's all good. We have a 2016 Escape 1.7 EcoBoost. Can I tow a 12x6 U-Haul? 1.7 EcoBoost, Scruffy? You could. So, actually, Scruff, on Fords, if you open up the driver's side door, on the back side of the door sill, it should tell you what you can tow. You have a gross vehicle weight rating, GVWR. Now 2102 is hard to find. Winter Drifters bought all the nice variants. Really? Huh. Interesting. Yeah, Scruffy. Every car has that. To be honest with you, it's mandated by law. You have to say how much the vehicle can tow. It's probably there because something liability, but yeah, every car has towing capacity on it. Russians in the U.S. will immediately recognize it and be surprised. Yeah, Kim, that's kind of the point. They'd be like, what the heck? What is this? How did you get this here? I'd be like, I know people. I know people. Are we launching today? I already launched. We're going to land on the moon, Klein. Oh, no. Okay. No. Now, you're asking about real life, not in KSP. Sorry about that. Tomorrow at 5:49 a.m. is the target launch date. Anyway, let's pop back in. So we do have some really nice footage here. I like this. I like the fog. The fog looks cool. So it looks like they got a spare TEM. They got a shunter locomotive out there, pulling the train. Hey, Kem, do you know why they have a couple of flatbeds? Like, why do they have two flatbed consists right there? Bouxy, I'll be fine. Yeah. 5 to 6 years ago, the prices for the 2102 with really low mileage was like 1 to 2,000 USD. Damn, dude. My dream project is a 97 Firebird that has an LS in it. I can get behind that. Pretty much, T-Man. Yeah, exactly. So, see, yeah, they're carrying two... Those are two really long bed cars right there. It is nice seeing everything nice and clean, though. That makes me happy. Rocket should be clean. Why is there one road on either side? Do they plan to add more tracks? Let me take a look. Well, first of all, you need a wide berth because you're pulling rockets. Also, is that Yuri with Sputnik in his hand? That's cool. I like that. So, 2 tracks. No, that's just a not a branch line. It's just a little. It's a spur track. But there's also. I wonder what that one is about right there. See, that track ends right there. It's a passing track. So yeah, basically you pull over here, you let something pass, and then you go. So that shunter locomotive that I was talking about, the shunter locomotive is right there. The whole thing will go past it out to the pad, and then this thing brings up the rear. I think they do plan on building more tracks to different pads. I think that's what that other track is for. We have to go out and look. Yeah, Kev, I think it's to the Angara pad. Well, not I think. It is to the Angara pad. Yeah, they'll eventually connect this line in right here. Or they'll have this rail line will keep going right into the transfer building. So Vostochny is, the way they built it is very different. I haven't seen stuff like this before. So you have staging right here for the rocket. You have payload stuff right here. And then you have a transfer aisle. Kind of works like the VAB, like NASA's VAB, only a little bit different. Then you have final integration right here. So the rocket parts come in over here. The payloads and the third stages come in over here and are processed here. And then they roll them onto a railroad car. And that railroad car in the transfer aisle goes left to right. So it goes left to right, and then it goes to here, and then they'll roll the payload in there. And then if the boosters need to go through, they'll just roll the boosters through the transfer aisle into the main area. The beginning of that video is inside of final integration. Yeah, it'll take away the support car. Yeah, Dan, I gotcha. So that's inside of here. And then they'll roll out over here. Nice. It's very, very nice. But they'll connect this track in. There's no way they won't do that. This track will move in over here eventually, because this track goes to the Angara pad. See, the Angara pad is under construction. It's not done yet. But there will be something like this that goes straight right there. Will they ever launch a crew Soyuz from Vostochny? I'm not sure. Yeah, the assembly is in here. That picture that I just showed you, they roll it out here. There's your track right there. I'm not sure what's going right here. I think that might be left over from old pictures. Never mind. It's left over from nothing. That was 2016, and then got a lot of pictures of Vostochny, huh? Oh, yep, there we go. Angara, not Angara. Sorry, man. English accent, what do you want? Or American accent, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, this track will connect in here eventually. The railways are a problem for Russian cosmonautics. Yeah, I've told people about this. Oh my gosh, the world is really flat. I try to tell folks about this. The reason why, like, it's not just, hey, let's build a bigger rocket, is because the railway network is built out, but not so much the highways and not so much the sea routes. And that's the sea routes is because there's this thing called ice that happens every once in a while. Yeah, it's kind of annoying. So the Russians transport a lot of their rockets by rail. Now, the Russians do use a broad gauge. They have a really, really wide rail. But even then, you're only really constricted. Like, your core size is only like 3 to 4 meters at best. You really can't make anything bigger than that. What about using helicopters? Helicopters don't have good range when they're hauling stuff nuclear. I mean, guys, that's the reason why they built the 225, the Antonov 225, so they could carry the Buran around back and forth in one shot, because the road system isn't really built very well. False, N1. The N1 was manufactured on site, Supercraft. What limits them from building near the launch site? James, there's no infrastructure out there. Okay, I know this is like kind of like a no crap moment, but literally the infrastructure. There's not much out there. The Russian Far East is... Think about like Alaska levels of nothing out there, because it pretty much is. It's pretty much the same thing. Here, take a look. Yeah, there, especially out at Vostochny, there's not much out there. Like, it's mostly just like for the Americans, this whole area is like Alaska out here. From basically the Ural range all the way over. Actually, the Urals are over here. It's this mountain range. From here over there's really nothing out there, guys. It is just wilderness, like Alaska. It is like Alaska. It's the same type of. It's not inhospitable, but it's a real pain in the butt to get over some of this terrain. It's all treacherous, all the way out to the Kamchatkin Peninsula. There's really nothing. There's like the only thing that's really out here is Vladivostok and a couple of other cities. Hey, Guybrush, 25-month resub. I've been away from Twitch for quite some time. I'm glad you're still the KSP evangelist I used to know. Stream hasn't changed much, Guy. Hope you're doing good in the pandemic. I'm making my way, dude. Take care and keep going. I'm not stopping anytime soon. So yeah, the infrastructure isn't that built up out there. Like, even if you wanted to build like a highway system out here, like something like the U.S. highway system, it would still be treacherous. It would be like building a highway through Alaska. It's really, really difficult. See, and for the Russian folks, Alaska over here is the same way. It's just, you could build highways out here, but why? Why the hell would you do that? There's nothing out there, except for oil. I mean, there's lots of oil out here. You can literally see it. See that?
Discovery, go at throttle.
Hey, Guybrush gifted 5 subs. Right on. Thanks, man. Is this the only Russian launch site? No. They have Baikonur. Baikonur's closer, but it's out in the desert. It's out in the middle of nowhere in the desert. Wait, that's actually oil? Yeah. I mean, it's crude, but yeah. This is why it was sold to the U.S. They had nothing there, and it's crazy difficult to communicate in the past. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I mean, a bargain deal for us. But yeah, I mean, yeah, the U.S. bought Alaska from the Russians in, what was it, the 1840s, I think. I think it was, I want to say 1847, but I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong. They also were afraid that the UK would get it. 1867. Okay, I was close. 67, not 47. I mean, a national like I've asked before, there like is there a national highway system over there? There is, but it's really, once you get out, like I said, past like Novosibirsk, there's like one road. Like, if I get rid of borders and stuff, take a look. Like out here, the highway system is fine. Oh, I see you guys have roads that just end. That's good. We do that. There's Omsk. There's Novosibirsk. Yeah, once you get out here, there's really only one road. Let me see. What's this highway look like? What's the M55 look like here? Do we have some earth action here? Yeah, we do. Oh man, this road. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 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 Okay. Yeah, it's paved. Like I said, Paul Blart, it's like Alaska. It's the terrain is a real big pain in the butt. There's permafrost because it's cold. It's really tough to build stuff out there, like anywhere. There's the M56 right there. Yeah, I've played GeoGuessr before. Wait a minute. Let me just... Okay, before we get back to the news, let me just take a look. But yeah, the railways are the really only built-up piece of infrastructure. Let's see, anything cool in here? Hey, hello. Nah, not big enough. Forests are so deep, sometimes we find some settlements of people who are speaking Old Russian, and it still thinks that there's a Tsar in St. Petersburg. No, dude, I believe that. Bolshoi coming, big coming. What do we got over here? Ooh, shipyard. Very nice, eh? Where is it? Where is it? Ah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah. I want it. Can I have it? Yeah, they use the Arctic route, but that's only open every once in a while, Kim. I've seen Long Way Round, Frango. Yep. There's a Kirov. Very nice. There should be a tracking ship out here, if I remember correctly. But, nope, only one Kirov. Nice. See, like, now for the Russians over here, like, even up in Alaska, during World War II, the U.S. and Canada and the UK worked on a highway called the Alcan Highway. The Alcan Highway goes from basically Seattle all the way up to Anchorage, which is up here. The Alcan Highway is ridiculous. The Army Corps of Engineers made it, and it goes all the way through all this nonsense up to Alaska. The reason why they built it is because the Japanese invaded the Aleutian Islands. And we were like, oh, balls. Yep, we need to get stuff up there quick. So they built the Alcan Highway. But, see, even out in the States, here, check this out. The National Highway System, so a little bit of U.S. history for the Russians and people overseas. The U.S. National Highway System was built as a defense act because Eisenhower, who was the president at the time, saw the Autobahns in Germany and realized that they built that so the army could move around quicker. So they built the highway system based off of the Blitz, not the Blitz, but they used the highways for blitzing, for the Blitzkrieg, right? They built the highway system, they built it as defense. That's why it got made. That's why nobody was like, oh, no highways. So the U.S., because of that, is just, there's highways everywhere. You can go anywhere. Like, even a highway that's out in the middle of nowhere. Like, if we go on 70 right here. Just literally in the middle of nowhere, you get a nice big freaking highway. Enough to move military equipment on. And there is literally nothing out there. It goes past Fairbanks now. Nice. 2,000-year-old strategy. That's right. In Russia, they don't build them so no one can move if they get invaded. I heard that the roads were built during the Great Depression. So there was a huge infrastructure bill that was under a program that FDR came out with then called the New Deal. They didn't so much build roads during that time period, but they built infrastructure. So dams, power plants, and basically different types of infrastructure. They built a lot of power plants and dams and bridges and stuff. The Highway Act came in the 50s. So, like, if you look at our road system, anything that has that seal on it right there, Like, see how, see 70, see it's 24. 24 is a state road, but it's 70 on top of that. Those are the federal highways. Those are the big highways. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, so down here in Los Angeles, over here, you have the terminus of two major highways. You have the terminus of the 5 going north-south, right? So there's the 5 that runs up the coast, right? And then you have the terminus of 10. 10 goes from Los Angeles all the way over to Jacksonville in Florida. It actually ends right near the Space Coast, right near Kennedy Space Center, right? So you have 5 and you have 10. And then going east-west here, you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and 90. And then going north to south, right, you have 5, 15, 25, 35, 45, 55, 65, 75, 85, 95. So if you go to the opposite end, Boston, where I am, this is where my house is, you get the terminus at 95 and 90. See 90 right there? 95 comes up here, and it ends in Boston. It's actually pretty cool, man. It's a pretty interesting road system. So it's a grid. The whole U.S. is a gigantic grid. Yeah. It's a hell of a highway system, dude. It took us 50 freaking years to finish. They were working on that well into the 90s. And the original thing came out in 1955. Yeah, there's terrain that kind of gets in the way, so it's not like a perfect grid, but it's close. Yeah, so like for instance, there's 75, right? If you're from Michigan, you know 75. 75 goes from Sault Ste. Marie up here. It goes from Sault Ste. Marie in Canada, right? That's where it starts. It goes down through the UP, down through Michigan, through Saginaw, through Flint, through Detroit. It crosses with 90, right? And then 75 goes all the way down here. It goes all the way down to Florida. And it stops in Tampa, I believe. Oh, no. Keeps going. It stops in Miami. It goes across the Everglades.
Go at throttle up.
Pretty cool, huh? The road system in Europe. Yeah. Yeah, you guys got a good one over there, too. But yeah, they built that all as defense. That's why it all got made. So, like, that allowed you could move out in the middle of nowhere, and it's really not a big deal. You won't be that far from a highway, which is cool. It's a smart idea. I think you guys should do that. But I don't. The terrain's a little bit harder to move around on, and maintaining those roads would really, really suck. That would really suck. Yeah, that would really suck a lot. I've seen it. Yeah, Mossy, that's cool. Right. Elon is live right now on a $100 million X Prize carbon removal. Huh. Interesting. It's American squares. Everybody says Germans are efficient and stuff. I mean, our roads are nice, but they're not a grid. Neither are the cities. Well, we're a little bit younger than you are, Dodo, but the idea was good. Only if we didn't have some stupid national speed limit, which, I mean, we don't have it anymore, but, yeah. '95 doesn't terminate in Boston. Shut up. Really, Tybot? Please. Please, tell me about my local neighborhood more. You clearly know more about the place that I grew up than me. Please tell me. Because I clearly don't know what I'm talking about, right? And I wasn't just speaking in general, right? No. How would I know that 95 terminates at 128 right by the train station? Right by the train station where the Acela gets. How would I know that? Jeez. Huh. Right near Norwood Airport? No, I wouldn't know that at all. You're right. How would I know? Do you think that information was pertinent to the conversation? I will find you, Tybot. I will find you. And for those people that think I'm messing around, look. You want to see? See, it's my freaking neighborhood, man. Look. Fine, Tybot. Fine. 95 terminates right here. See? They stopped building the road because people voted against building the damn road. So the road stops. And then if you want to get into Boston, you have to take 93. This road right here, from here, so this part of the road right there is 128 and 95. So 95, 128. And then once you cross this bridge, it's 93, 128, and Route 1 and Route 3 at the same time. Yeah, it's 4 roads because our road system is broken. Oh, look, there's that train station that EJ was talking about. Huh, funny how that works. Wait. Oh, there's the airport. Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. I was born in Maine, 10 minutes away from the exit. It's my neighborhood, too. I'm sorry. Sorry for the whole bad roads thing. You and your damn horse paths. I don't know why, but I like Google Earth streams. Look at the New Hampshire main crossing. It's I-95. I know. 95 technically terminates right here. It's supposed to terminate in Boston, but it does keep going. It goes all the way up. All the way up. Oh, yeah, see, the thing is, nobody cares about this part. That's the thing. Nobody cares about that part. Dude, I've never been up here. Never been this far up into Maine before. Oh, there's the border. You gotta get off 95 to go back on 95. Dude, yeah, no, it's... I just blame the Brits. Let's just blame the Brits and just leave it at that. Really, Tybot? Bunch of maniacs live up there. Yeah, that's right. That's high-speed rail, by the way, for the Europeans. That train station, that's a high-speed rail line. It's even electric, too. I know. We decided to join the 20th century. I get it. In Holton, there's a lot of flat and a lot of potatoes. Sounds good. That's awesome, W. Very cool. Wait, electric trains in my U.S.? Yeah, I know. Seriously, it is. And then they decided they wanted to build this bridge here, and then they said, nah, never mind. Two flaps and some very important cargo were being delivered to the build site. I like the Tonka truck. That's cool. Yeah, so, I mean, 95 and 128 are the same road until 95 splits off again up here if you really want to be technical. Where does it split? So, that's Route 1 and Route 1A. And then it keeps going out here. 128 terminates in Gloucester. Yes, that's what you got to call it. And then, yeah, 95 goes up there. Follows old Route 1. Brima and I drove up here the other day. We were up here in Newburyport. No, we weren't in Newburyport. We were in Portsmouth. Which is cool. There's submarines and stuff if you like that. See? There's a submarine. Oh, FX, I know about the 405. I've driven on the 405. I know about it. FX, the 405 exists. That's all I have to say about it. I know about Nellis Air Force Base, Ryan. It's in Las Vegas. It's right by the track. The submarine is missing some water to go sub in. So is it just a boat, Doto? It's not an Untersea boat. It's just boat. It's not even a boat. The Seattle 405? No, the 405 in Los Angeles. It exists. That's what I want. I want you to take me to Newburyport for my birthday. Oh, gosh. Übersee boat. It's just a house, I guess. I did, Geek. Yeah, I heard about that. 3 hours to drive 18 miles. Yep. Yep. No, I've driven on the 405. Yeah. I've driven on it. I've parked on it. Yep, that's all I have to say about that. Let's get back into the Russian space news. All right, what else do we got? Got some pictures from Gleb Cosmos here. Would it be possible to find a U.S. carrier formation on the map? Probably not. I-90 on Mercer Island. I've driven about 2/3, Kaiser, of I-90. Well, not about 2/3, about 1/3, excuse me. I've driven on I-90 from Boston to Toledo, Ohio. So it's about 1/3 of the U.S. Hello. How many likes? Let me check. 63. We got it up there. So these are... Oh, hello. Okay. Yeah, see that? Nice and clean, baby. Nice and clean. Yeah, that's right, Audrey. I know all about that. Brimo, believe me, Brimo told me all about it. I guess that's kind of part and parcel with dating someone from Michigan or Ohio. You hear about how they fought each other one time. Boston to Toledo is 1/3 of the U.S., give or take. It's about 1,000 miles. No, maybe not. Now I gotta look at Earth again. Hold on. Nah, maybe a quarter. Now that I'm looking at it. Toledo's right there. Yeah, that's a quarter of I-90. That's not even close to 1/3. Because I-90 goes all the way over here. And it stops over there. 2,500 miles. Yeah, that's more like 1/5. Yeah, it's more like 1/5. Either way. Yeah, that's all of I-90 that I drove. I got off at 75 and went north to Detroit from there. That was last year. That was a fun road trip. It's 4 Massachusetts away. Savage Jensen. I've been moving from Phoenix to Orlando, then up to Nashville a few months later. So much driving. Appreciate the U-Haul advice. No problem, Scruffy. Yeah, just did you look at the door jam, dude? It should tell you what you can haul. Okay, let's see what this next article says. The Russian segment of the ISS is 80% depleted. Okay. The systems of the Russian segment of the ISS are 80% depleted, says Vladimir Soloviev, the director of the Russian segment of the station. Now the current state of the Russian segment, I can speak with full responsibility as the flight director of the station that up to 80% of the equipment, the service, and onboard systems have been completely exhausted of their resources. Okay. Is that it? Huh. Was that it? Dmitry gave a big speech at the Russian Academy of Sciences yesterday, but I'm still waiting on the translation on that. Yep, you got it. All right, Scruffy. Gnesimus, what's that? The Russians have lost the space race, and for them, space will end in 2025. There will be no Russian space station. Everything is mired in total corruption. Oy. Oh, I hope not, man. Do you think so? Yeah, Zucal, I'm not sure. Are you as skeptical as I am regarding Russia's plans for a national station? Honestly, guys, it's going to sound weird coming from me, but no. Should there be reason to be skeptical? I mean, okay. Hear me out. So, if there was no... Okay. Nauka, the science module, the MLM, right? That is pretty much good to go. Okay? Prichal and the NEM, the power module, are... They've shown pictures of them. They've shown pictures of people working on them. And I know that's like not... Okay, yeah, great. There's some guy using a micrometer on the stupid station. Whatever. But flight hardware is telling in space flight, dudes. Flight hardware is very telling. If you show the flight hardware, like, yes, this is the thing that's going to launch into space, I'm inclined to believe it. I mean, there might be some Russian cultural thing that I've missed here, but I think they'll do it, sure. I agree, Kim. Like, well, there's the poor budget. Angara A5 is still in the development process, and they seem to be more interested in collaborating with China's lunar base. I mean, Alex, I've said this to Kim a bunch of times, and to everybody. I wish we could still work with you guys. I like working with the Russians. Seriously. Couldn't ask for a better friend in space. I'm dead serious about that. I say that once a stream now at this point. But I guess Dimitri wants to work with China.
Discovery, go and throttle up.
Hey, Renren, what's up, dude? Kyron, 38-month resub. Dimitri and... Actually, I think it's out of Dimitri's hands. I think the big man said don't work with the Americans, but I don't know that. I don't know that for sure, you know? 102 on France. We have many ESA Roscosmos missions. I'm quite skeptical. Yeah, Angara is ready to go, guys. They built an entire factory to scale up Angara production in Omsk. And I would be skeptical of it, but I've seen the damn thing. Like, I haven't gone over there and seen it, obviously. I've seen pictures. We've watched tons of videos. They've had tons of tours, like showing people around. It looked like a rocket factory to me. Like, I don't know, what do I know? Do you think the U.S. can build a station after the ISS? We're gonna build like 4 or 5 of them, Ryan. Actually, yeah. They finished adding the tiles to the big patch on 15. Okay, Thomas, I'll get to Starship News in a moment. Yeah, I don't mind. I mean, I wish we could still work together. That would be really cool. 4 or 5? Yeah, commercial low Earth orbit destinations program, MoForce. Oh, yeah. There's going to be NASA's going to basically privatize a bunch of stations and send them up. And then there's the Axiom station on top of that. Yeah, the Common LEO Destination Program, Rocket. That's it. Yeah. I don't know. I think Russia with the Angara stuff, because the Ministry of Defense wants Angara up so they can have assured access to space. I mean, and then the flight hardware, the modules, I mean, that tells me everything I need to know. Yeah, they'll probably build it. 5 where? At the moon? No. It's just a commercial low Earth orbit destinations program, dude. You're very optimistic. They're not going to be the size of the ISS, Black Sue. They're going to be smaller stations. The whole idea is to hand over low Earth orbit from the government to commercial and making it a commercial venture. Hi, when is the launch? Sten, we're about 12 hours out. I'm doing a long stream until the launch. Yeah, Joe, something like that. Elon just said that Starship could probably do 200 tons to the lunar surface. That's awesome. So, like, in terms of the Russians building the station, I think they'll do it. Yeah, sure. Why wouldn't they? I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't. Now, this is very much my opinion, okay? This is very much my opinion. So this next part, I'm not 100% sure if I should say it, but whatever. I'll put it out there at the risk of sounding like a moron, which I usually do. So, okay. Like, guys, it's no secret. Like, I get up the Europeans' tailpipe for not having their own manned launch capability, when in reality, what happened there is that the U.S. defense industry probably choked off Europe's defense industry and made it to the point where it wasn't economically viable, right? Like, that's probably what happened, if I had to guess. With the Russians working with the Chinese, like, China clearly has a lot more money to spend on their space program. I'm worried you guys are going to get choked off in the same way, which would really suck. That would really suck because that's a lot of spaceflight talent going down the drain. And it might sound funny coming from me, but a lot of European aerospace talent went down the drain when we basically choked off your defense industry. You know, like, once again, that might be a little bit too controversial for me. So it's just kind of 5 minutes of thinking. But, you know, like, I think if the Russians end up working with the Chinese, what's most likely going to happen is that what's most likely will happen is that you'll end up playing backseat, just like kind of how the Europeans and the Canadians do to us. And you know, like, it's messed up. Like, I don't want that. But I mean, I don't know. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I hope I'm wrong. Let me put it that way. But who knows? Who knows? It's hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of Rule 8 stuff clearly going on here that I don't understand. So it's just an idle observation, I suppose. Ryan, you're going to have to look up the details of it. I'm not 100%. Like, I haven't read the Commercial Low Earth Orbit Destinations program, but that's the idea, yeah. Elon is talking about Starship right now, okay? Like, I'm not sure. Like, how do you know that the Chinese aren't going to do that to the Russian space program? Yeah, and I mean, there's that. It's just something to ponder. I mean, I don't think much is going to stop China from going into space. Like, they want to go into space and they want to prove that they can do it themselves. I get it. Like, believe me, I understand that. Elon is a must-watch. Okay. All right. If you guys want to watch that, that's fine. I'll switch over to it. We'll see what Elon is up to.
Say 6 to 9 hours. We'll call it twice a day for the ship. And we'll make more ships than there are boosters. So, and I think once we have the floating space platforms, we can position them such that the ship can come back in a single orbit.
Amazing.
So then it could be like, let's say if we can get 3 ship launches per day, that's 1,000 flights a year. Each with 100 to 150 tons of payload.
Now we're talking a real space program.
Yeah.
Let's go to the questions on the carbon removal prize. We'll be going to your questions at Twitter in about 20 minutes.
What was that?
So Elon, this is the largest prize ever, largest incentive prize ever, and I would argue for one of the most largest civilization scale challenges we have.
Sure.
And we can get into the rules in a second so that folks who are looking at creating teams can understand why we created those rules. But why did you fund this? Let's start with the why there.
Yeah, I think I wanted to spur ideas and thinking about the long-term need to capture carbon. You know, I think this is one of those things that's going to take a while to figure out what the right solution is.
Mm-hmm.
and especially to figure out what the best economics are for
Mullets are coming
for
back. I
CO2
watch. I'm telling you.
removal.
Even your boy has one.
And all the think through all the consequences. You don't want the cure.
1,000 flights per year entropy.
See,
It's coming back, man.
Say, we'll just plant a bunch
Coming
of trees.
back.
I'm like, that's not so easy, you know. Like
a trillion trees.
Sure, exactly.
Launches in
And then
12
you gotta,
hours,
okay,
Demon Hat.
You need to get fertilizer. You're going to water them. Where's the water going to come from? What habitat are you potentially destroying where the trees used to be? It's not just it's a no-brainer of just go plant a bunch of trees.
But it's not to say that's not a good viable option.
We should plant some trees. I'm in favor of planting trees. It's just not a question of like, okay, you know, there are like vast sections of like the Sahara Desert or some large barren areas, very dry areas in the U.S. Where you could in theory plant a lot of trees, but you're going to need a lot of water.
Yeah.
And you're going to need you're going to have to cultivate them. It's not like they don't just throw some seeds on the ground. You know?
We'll drop them from orbit.
Yeah, and I mean, so just I think it'd be good to sort of kind of frame the debate and understand, okay, what things
Shut
are
up,
really
Kelly.
going to move the needle? How much are they going to move the needle?
I know what you mean, man.
If we're talking about getting tens or hundreds of billions of tons of carbon, in what form will that carbon be?
Yeah.
And, will it be stable over time? And like I said, what is it going to cost humanity to do? However it's paid for, what is it going to cost? What's the thing that's
I'm going to boost the audio a little bit, guys.
Be most affordable. I think there are a lot of open questions on this.
There are. Let me chunk the rules for those listening, and you and your team, an amazing team, and Marcus Extravor and Xenia Tata and their team work really well together. So the first thing is that for a team to win this, and we'll talk about the prize amounts and so forth, they've got to actually build something that works and demonstrate something that can extract 1,000 tons per year, a kiloton of carbon per year as a demo scale model.
Yeah, I think, by the way, we're very much open to adjusting the rules, to be clear to everyone, like meaning if things aren't working or for whatever reason, we need to adjust rules, we'll adjust rules. The fundamental goal is to have spent 100 million, and actually end up being probably like 120 million or whatever with, costs of managing the prize and everything. So there'll be, at the end of the day, probably something like $120 million spent, and hopefully that's spent well and usefully, and that what comes out of it is something that matters to the future. So that's the goal, to be clear. And so if people have, ideas for adjusting the rules.
We're going out as guidelines, and
I'm going to switch us over to YouTube. YouTube would probably be better. Sorry about the break.
Super open to critical feedback. Don't hesitate to yell and say, if hey, this is how it should be different. A useful exercise and have people have a good time trying to figure out this problem. I think it's sort of it's a fun problem to try to work on, we just want it to be useful at the end of the day, and have it not be sort of just an academic exercise or something that never amounts to anything.
I think one of the things that you've said and I've said is, everything works on PowerPoint. Everything works on PowerPoint.
Everything works in PowerPoint. That's exactly. You could have a PowerPoint presentation for a teleportation system to the Andromeda Galaxy, and even have a simulation of look, here we are, boom, you're in the according to the slide, you're now teleported to Andromeda. So but it doesn't actually work.
So to win this prize, a team actually during the 4 years has to build something that can at minimum pull out 1,000 tons of carbon per year.
Yeah.
So that they can show us that.
Do they have to? Do they have to pull out 1,000 tons, or just show that the rate it works?
No, they have to pull out
like a literal 1,000 tons. We weigh it.
We're
on scale.
And we're gonna maybe we could calculate it to be 1,000 tons.
Okay.
But the rate at which they'll have to run it for a year to get 1,000 tons out. But
maybe if they run it for a month, that's okay.
Probably it's okay.
Okay.
All right. And
I mean, if about a month. They have 100 tons, and then it needs to fit on our weighing machine or something. I don't know, we're gonna weigh it somehow.
We'll use one of your ships.
We'll get it done as shipyard automated.
And part of the actual physically doing it is that they have enough data to calculate costs, which are going to be important. but we're not looking for theory. We're looking for practice.
Is there a
And-
countdown?
and you know how hard it is to make
12
something
hours.
real.
It's very hard
Exactly
to make something
12
real.
hours from now,
In my
twitching.
view, prototypes are trivial, and production is hard.
Yeah.
And there's the general generally people think it's the prototype that is the hard thing. Prototypes are well, I mean, obviously you're going to have that 1% of inspiration, but as the saying goes, it's 1% inspiration, 99% perspiration.
Yeah.
Ideas are plentiful. Actually getting it done is very hard. You could say, for example, what about the idea of going to the moon is easy. Going to the moon is hard. So that's why it's
Yeah.
not the idea, man.
Yeah. Yeah, there's plenty of ideas out there. It's
Yeah,
execution.
it's like,
All right, so the
this
second
was
thing.
my idea to go to the moon. I patented it. Okay, good.
See you there.
Yeah.
The second thing
Being
is, and
savage
this is a
over
term
here.
that you
Florian
use
Andreas.
first, is that the teams have to be able to calculate the fully considered costs of pulling out the CO2.
Sure,
And what
yeah.
does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I think fully considered cost actually just means that if there are, you want to look at both the benefits
pretty awesome,
and
Geek.
the
Not gonna lie
cost
to you.
actually. So if in sequestering carbon, removing it from the atmosphere or oceans, has some perhaps some environmental impact, which might be small, but it's not negative. That certainly needs to be taken into account. And then by the same token, if what's done is in extracting carbon is a useful product
Sure.
from which you can generate revenue, then that should count too.
All right.
So I don't know, I'm just sort of saying for argument's sake, like let's say you could create, construction, construction material, like,
Cement.
cement.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Which we
Cement-
I'll talk about that
cement
later.
or some kind of useful rocks that are useful, or sand, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Something that's useful for construction. Then you could say, okay, well, this is what we could sell it for, and and then just fully consider pros and cons, and say, okay, this is what, if we need to pay to have it done in the future, which we probably will have to do, then what's the lowest net cost?
And to be clear, the working teams, what they do has to be net negative, right? It's not a break even. It's not pull out 1,000 tons and then emit 1,000 tons. And in fact, one of the things we talked about.
Absolutely.
One of the things we
Obviously. Yeah.
One of the things we talked about
Cure
is
can't
how,
be worse than the disease.
Yes. How long do you need to sequester the carbon for us? We had a big debate. You want to share what you came up with there? What the team came up with?
The rate of carbon sequestering needs to far exceed the rate at which, say, it is perhaps potentially dissolving back into the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Like if
And so one of the rules is that you have to be able to sequester
Like,
for
will
at
it
least
work,
100
basically?
years, right? So
Yeah.
we set a target. Doesn't have to be forever.
Yeah.
A year is not long enough. So we said you have to demonstrate that your methodology is going to contain the CO2 in some fashion for 100 years at least.
Yeah, maybe there's a small amount that is lost. Maybe it's not perfect. You
Yeah.
know, I think probably don't want to set it to, 100% for 100 years. But if it's like 90% for 100 years, that's probably okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it just needs to be something that if we scaled it up, would it work?
Yeah, and that's the third part.
Obviously,
That's the third
Just
part,
pass
which
common
is
sense test really.
yes. And the hardest thing is that the winning team has to prove to our judges that their approach can actually scale to a gigaton level. Otherwise, it's not going to be useful.
Right. Exactly. It can't be niche.
Yeah.
It can't be inherently niche.
And if anybody knows about scaling up, I think you do.
Scaling is hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know what the answer is here, really. But I think if a lot of smart people work on this, there could be some really creative solutions.
Something generally useful for the world in that regard.
Absolutely.
Large.
Yeah, and I think just to be clear, like we're looking for pragmatic solutions. It doesn't need to be perfect. But it's got to be something that just fundamentally, if we scaled it up, would it work? And that's it.
So let's talk about the prizes that are up for grabs. First place is going to be $50 million.
Yeah.
Which is significant. Our hope is that it's going to attract enough cognitive surplus out there to focus in on this.
Yeah.
30 million split between sort of a second, third, and fourth place prize. And one of the things that you and your team put forward is maybe it might be split into different categories,
Sure.
right? Different approaches.
Yeah, I mean, we want to reward people who have done great work.
Yeah.
Fundamentally, I'm open to increasing the prize size too over time. So, if it turns out like, hey, somebody really kicked ass, and somehow there's not a prize for them, I'll add some more to the prize.
That's extraordinary.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want somebody to have like spent like, massive blood, sweat, and tears, have done something useful, and then get nothing for it. That would be pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, but I think also, this somebody's going to probably get a company out of this, because I think this will be a need long term, and so this is kind of like, you can also think of it as like free venture money.
Yeah.
You know.
Non-dilutive venture capital.
Yeah.
And
Free money for a company.
And hopefully we're also creating a massive marketplace and proving to people that there's a there here.
Yeah.
So 50 million for the first, 30 million split among second, third, and fourth. In the next year, we're taking $15 million and distributing $1 million to the top 15 teams that appear to be making the most progress and the most real.
Just giving some people some seed money, basically. Yeah.
And then you've set aside $5 million for student teams.
Yeah,
which is real important. You want to talk about student teams? I know you're passionate about that.
Yeah. We've done a lot of student competitions. For example, Hyperloop, just trying to spur ideas in advanced transportation, and it's really just basically an electric car and a vacuum tube, to be precise. I mean, and we've had several of them, and the last Hyperloop competition, I got like, I think, halfway to the speed of sound. So yeah, it's pretty impressive. And the thing was, you had to get to the fastest speed and then stop without crashing.
Yeah.
That's pretty. It's kind of exciting.
No, they announced the prize, dude.
Get what speeds are going to get up to? Are they going to slam the brakes on in time, or is it going to hit the crash barrier at the end? So it's pretty fun. And then we kind of got to. We put that on pause, and now we're doing tunneling competitions.
Nice. Change that. Yeah, that technology has not changed that much in a century.
No, honestly, I think we're gonna, I mean, for, I don't know, 5 or 7 years, for a long time I was like, people asked me what opportunities do you see, I said tunneling, and they would think I was joking, but I think this is the way to solve traffic in congested cities. And almost every major city is congested. So, and with, as autonomy gets better and better, and you have robo-taxis and everything, the robo-taxis will be cheaper than the bus or subway.
Welcome to Johnny Camp.
And it'll take you point to point, even when it's like raining and snow, and it's, so it's going to be better also, I think, for, from a public health standpoint, like if there's another pandemic and, how do you get around, It's like it's just difficult to go in crowded spaces. So anyway, so I think tunnels are going to be really important in the future for relieving congestion in cities. So, I hope others start tunneling companies and just improve tunneling technology. And that you can have like these warp tunnels just going all the way through this, 3D, multiple levels. And we're the first operational one in Vegas. That's it's going to go into operation, I think, in a few months.
We could sit here and talk about macaque monkeys playing Pong as well on Neuralink. That was amazing.
Yeah,
that was
wild.
Awesome. Yeah, but I'm not going to go there. I'm going to focus still on our.
I played mind pong against the monkey.
You did? Did it win?
Yeah, no. But but it hadn't practiced as much yet, so now it might be able to beat me. Monkeys have very good agility.
Yeah. They've got to catch the branch.
They can swing through the trees, and we cannot. Not very well,
What about Tarzan?
Yeah. No. So I think a monkey actually could play like a fast twitch video game really well.
That's great.
Maybe better than a human.
You can sponsor a team.
Yeah, exactly. Esports, it's just monkeys.
Macaques against the best teams.
Yeah, it turns out the monkeys actually love playing video games and
so do my 9-year-olds.
And drinking smoothies. No, it's just like humans. I mean, basically humans love snacks and video games, and so do monkeys.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We're about to go to questions in 2 minutes. I know we got a stack of them. I just want to hit
on the hell?
There are 4 categories that teams can put
return to
their
monkey
approaches
CSGO?
forward. First is direct air capture. Pull it out of the air. Any comment on that?
Sure. Well, I mean, you can certainly pull that out. There's lots of ways to get carbon
Your
out
job's
of
at
there.
risk. Oh
Um,
no!
You can absorb it
Silly
many different ways.
humans.
Yeah, category 2 is oceans, sort of algae, kelp, plankton.
That's the idea
a
that
lot
I
of
would do.
CO2 in the oceans. People don't realize that.
Kelp capture.
Category 3, land. Trees. I mean, Mark Benioff has been backing a trillion trees project. I mean, that
Where
is.
are they going to be planted?
We'll find out.
Okay.
By the way, when people say that Earth is being overpopulated,
This is not true.
It's like, look out the window, and I know you and I have had this conversation that you're more worried about underpopulation of planet.
Oh yeah, yeah. Earth is going to face a massive population collapse
Yeah.
over the next 20, 30 years. Massive.
Yeah.
People aren't gonna like that one.
And this is definitely, will civilization, the question of like, is civilization going to die with a bang or a whimper? This would definitely be dying with a whimper.
Yeah, we
The
need.
birth rate is very low.
Yeah, it's been dropping, right? It used to be 5, 6 children per family. Globally, it's like 2.4. Below, in the U.S., it's below replacement levels.
I mean, in most of Europe, Russia, Japan, Korea, Singapore, it's well below replacement.
But I would still say,
so.
when we spoke last about this, you're still a sort of abundance optimist that the world is getting better on many levels.
Yeah, I think the world is generally getting better. I have some concerns about advanced AI, like that's a risk. If I say like existential risks, I'd say super advanced AI is one, and probably the second biggest risk after that is population collapse.
Not asteroid impact.
No, the population collapse. The thing about demographics and birth rates, you know what's going to happen in 20 years because you know the birth rate last year.
Yeah.
It takes like 20 years for a person to grow up.
Yeah.
So we know what the adult population is going to be 20 years from now because we know what kids were born last year. I think we have a serious issue with population collapse. That's far bigger than people realize. And this the social networks and everything. The social support networks were not really set up for a high ratio of retirees to workers. So then.
Well, thank God we got robots coming in.
Yeah, the robots, exactly. We'll need those robots, but you don't want to have the youth effectively enslaved to take care of the elderly. Which is what would kind of happen if you have an upside down demographic pyramid.
Let's get to the questions. First of all, if you're interested in the guidelines or to register a team, go to xprize.org. You can download the guidelines. Again, up until I think May 13th, we're looking for public comment. Please tell us what we could do to improve it. And then please register as a team so we can communicate with you if you're interested. Before we go to the questions, and you go to XPrize's Twitter account @XPrize to ask questions, let's go to a short video from Dr. Marcus Extravor. We call him Dr. X. He is the lead for us, an amazing, brilliant individual who leads our carbon and climate work. All right, let's see what Dr. Extravor has to say.
God. Jesus, freaking sorry about the audio. Why does everyone do that? Stop doing that. Can't be bothered with doing things like mixing audio now, can we? Thanks, Dr. X. Sorry about that, guys. There's nothing I can do if they just decide to boost the audio on something like that. Genesis, 25-month resub. Thanks. Yeah, I know. I'm freaking for real, man. Keep in mind, guys, that what I was going to say before, the guys running the X Prize thing decided to expedite my going deaf. That population growth isn't correlative. Population growth is not correlative to, what he was talking about. It's the rate. It's the rate that it grows at. So you could say, like, oh, it's grown this much over the last 45 years. That's fine. But the rate is what the rate is what they're talking about. They're not talking about overall growth. Am I wrong, or I mean, I'm pretty sure the rate at which something grows at and then overall growth is two different things. Hey, Roadrunners, what's up, dude? And I think he's saying that the rate has slowed down. So despite population growth over the last 45 years, right, the rate has slowed down tremendously in the last, 20. I'm fairly confident that that's what he was talking about. But, I mean, dudes, I don't know. That's way out of my league there. All right, they're back. Let's see if the audio sucks.
What SpaceX and Tesla, I mean, people who care about changing the world. All right, we're going to go to some questions. We have some over here. The first one is from Chuck Brady in Austin. Chuck is one of our innovation board members, one of the earliest funders that did the background work in the climate for here. And so I found this question super fascinating. So he says, if the bogey is 10 gigatons per year,
yeah,
and the global economic output is $87 trillion, at least it has been the last year, then at $200 per ton, to sequester, cost sequestration is $2 trillion, or about 2% of the global GDP. So it seems like a reasonable drag on overall economy if we could stop or reverse climate change. The shortcoming right now is we don't have a scalable way yet to capture and sequester CO2. So that's the background. That seems like a reasonable estimate. So here's his first question. Should competing teams prioritize scalability over cost? And what lessons from Tesla and SpaceX have you learned to help teams thinking about the design of their solutions?
Well, I think it's not, unless the cost is affordable, it's not scalable. I mean, I thought the prior math was pretty sensible there. You know, we could afford something perhaps which is 1 or 2% of GDP, but it would be extremely painful if it was 20% of GDP. Yeah. We'd start having to cut into healthcare and all sorts of social care programs. And if it's 200% of GDP, it's not happening at all.
Yep.
So we want to just let them know that the audio feed's coming through.
Yeah. Chuck has a second question I also thought was really important. It says, while we want the lowest cost that will do a gigaton per year or more, inevitably there are going to be trade-offs between cost and scalability.
No, actually, I think something's not scalable unless the cost is low.
Yeah.
So, or at least if the cost at scale is low.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess cost and scale, where you could say, like, I could plant a tree. Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, but
I could plant a tree.
We just need to solve the problem, and so
gross domestic product.
Cost and scalability need to be addressed. It's like, is it going to remove enough carbon to matter, mm-hmm. and can we afford it as a civilization?
Yeah,
those are the two things that matter. Yeah, and then just obviously making sure that in sequestering the carbon, we're not.
Kim, I think he's doing a Diogenes here.
Some new environmental issue.
Just my opinion, though.
I mean, that's an important point, right? That we're not creating a new environmental issue at the same time that we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or maybe it is, but it can only be. Basically, the cure has got to be much better than the disease. Yeah. Obviously.
Yeah.
So just like you take some medication. Maybe there's like slight.
Boris, does Elon have a speech problem? No, Yeah, I think his brain works too fast for his mouth.
A path to this. To working at scale and solving the problem. Yeah. It has to have some.
The mouth doesn't have enough bandwidth,
Restalani from Los Angeles, one of our Vision Circle members, says, who do you think should be paying for the cost of carbon capture? Is it government, oil industry, a tax across everyone? Do you have a sense about that?
Well, generally the market systems work very well when pricing.
Yes, Fahrenheit. I mean.
And the problem we have right now is that we're not correctly pricing the cost per ton of CO2 in the atmosphere and oceans.
You got to remember, English is a second language.
And there are various attempts to try to get at this with subsidies and whatnot, but really the market system will work well if the market systems work well if there is not a pricing error. Yeah. And we have a pricing error in that we are not paying for this externality. In classic economics, it's just an unpriced externality. In the we're not paying for our garbage removal. So then garbage
you don't hear his accent, Soapbox?
And
Wouldn't it
so
be Dutch?
The
'Cause
logical
South
thing to do, and I
Africa?
think the
But I don't know.
vast majority of
Now that I'm
economists
thinking
will
about it,
agree
maybe not.
is
I don't know.
to put a tax on carbon, and then you can find ways with tax rebates and whatnot to make sure it's not a regressive tax
Yeah,
that does
GNAC,
not
right.
unfairly, disproportionately negatively affect people on low incomes with tax rebates and stuff.
Yeah.
So I think that's the way to, that's the thing that systemically I think is important to address it. If you correctly price something, the market system works.
Yeah.
Prices are just information. We have the wrong information, so.
I mean, that's an interesting way
Julio
of looking
from
at that.
Dublin
Right?
says, do you expect the technologies coming out of this competition to have any use on Mars, for example? And P.S. Thank you for what you're doing for humanity.
Let me see.
Yeah, I think so. Interesting thing
neat.
on Mars is that Mars is a primarily CO2 atmosphere, though it also has some nitrogen and carbon and other trace elements. Nitrogen and argon, I should say, in addition to primarily CO2. So in order to produce propellant on Mars, we would take the CO2 from the atmosphere, combine that with water ice. Mars has a lot of ice under the dust.
It's amazing that that 20 years ago that wasn't known. I mean, we're discovering it every place now.
Yeah. Mars is basically covered in ice.
Yeah.
It's just got dust too, so it's hard to see the ice under the dust. But I believe if you warmed Mars up, you'd have an ocean with an average depth I think of almost a mile or something like that.
Wow.
On the northern part of the planet. It's like something like 40% of the planet would have an ocean potentially up to a mile deep or something like that.
Extraordinary.
Like a big. It wouldn't be like just a little lake or something like that. So. So you take the water ice, H2O, and you combine that with the CO2 in the atmosphere. Use something like the Sabatier process where you run it over a ruthenium catalyst, and you get basically
Methane.
Yeah, you get methane. You get CH4 and O2 oxygen, and that's actually why we designed the Starship to use methane oxygen, is because we can actually create that
And refuel on
sustainably.
Mars.
Yeah, in fact, literally by pulling the CO2 out of the atmosphere,
That's-
combining it with water,
Yeah.
and then using that as propellant. And so, actually, by its very nature, Mars has to have a sustainable energy, sustainable rocket propellant.
Yeah.
So.
Let's go to India. Rohan Kumar from Mumbai says, why don't you simply implement the available technologies on a larger scale?
Like which technologies?
Yeah. Tree planting.
I think there should be more trees. Let's do it.
I would say that there
Have you tried just
currently
scaling
does not
up?
exist technologies that can scale to the gigaton level at a reasonable cost, and that's the underlying purpose of this competition.
I like
is
hydrogen,
to either demonstrate existing technologies can, and teams can use whatever technologies they want, or to really innovate and come up with new approaches. It's like,
Yeah.
I got a Zeppelin, thank you.
Well, the thing is that generally, if trees can grow somewhere, they usually do grow. They like unless they generally.
yeah, there's no one there pulling them out other than humans in the Amazon.
I mean, the Amazon is quite a big thick jungle. I've flown over the Amazon many times, and that is one hell of a jungle. In fact, you would fly for long periods of time and see nothing, no lights, no fires, no nothing, just darkness. And then eventually fly over Brasilia, the capital, and out of nowhere there's a bunch of lights. But there's in order to have a big increase in tree biomass, we would have to irrigate and provide manure, like basically fertilizer, and we'd have to cultivate.
Make it hospitable for the trees to grow.
Yes, and then you say, okay, well, what's the energy cost of the fertilizer and getting the fresh water there, and just making it habitable for trees. It's you got to factor in the energy cost of the fertilizer and the energy cost of the water, and all that. So it's like, okay, what's the actual net carbon result? It's not as good as people might think. Again, I'm not saying I'm anti-tree. I'm pro-tree, but it would just be very difficult to blanket the Sahara with trees.
Yeah. So this is an important one here. As teams are coming together, so Grant in Washington, D.C. says, what is Elon's and Peter's process of building a strong team? And ultimately, I think the quality of your team is everything.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
So
That's how you get things done.
How do you, I mean, when you start a new company like Neuralink or Boring, how do you recruit that first core team?
When Neuralink and Boring are very small companies, I should be emphasized. Like these are tiny compared to SpaceX and Tesla, which is
sure.
Well over 90% of what I do is just SpaceX and Tesla.
Yeah.
So, Neuralink and Boring Company are each just a few hundred people.
But how do you? But these teams
Tesla's
are
80,000 people.
That's incredible, dude.
Yeah. So Tesla's big. SpaceX is like over 8,000 people. So.
But how do you recruit your initial team to work on something?
That's ridiculous.
Do you put out word? Do
you
you know somebody typically? Do you build around somebody
else?
What
a beast!
Do you pull from your existing
What
companies?
a freaking monster!
Well, it varies. I mean, the first company way back in the day, Zip2. What I did was I just wrote software. So I didn't have any money. So I came out with Zip2. I came out to go do grad studies at Stanford. I had $100,000 in student debt and one computer, and I was going to actually work on advanced capacitors for use in electric vehicles.
I remember that you saying that
way back in the day.
Yeah.
And I'd spent a couple summers working on that before in Silicon Valley before going to Stanford, and then that summer I was like, well, the internet's going to be something that really changes. It's going to be one of the biggest impacts on humanity. It's like humanity communication will go from being like osmosis to humanity having a nervous system where you could access any part of humanity's knowledge from anywhere, from any connection anywhere. You could be in the middle of the Amazon jungle and have access to all of humanity's information, more than if somebody was living in the Library of Congress. So it's like, well, I want to be part of creating that. And so I just started writing software. I've been writing software for a long time, but I actually wrote the first maps and directions on the internet, the first white pages, first yellow pages, by myself. And then, we hired a few interns, and then my brother joined, another friend of mine, Greg Curry, who's passed away, and then we got some venture funding. I thought it was crazy that these guys were going to give us they gave us $3 million, and I was like, this is insane. It's just us and some interns. And they're giving us $3 million. This is crazy. They must be mad.
So I think what I'm hearing you say is, if the first most critical part of the team is you, as the founder and the passionate individuals.
Try to do useful things.
Let's try and squeeze in a few more.
I think the things you have to remember, for SpaceX, it was just literally okay, we should become multi-planet species, and these are long answers. So, but I think in general, if you want to recruit people that are really talented and driven, you have to state what's the mission, what's the problem we're trying to solve,
yep.
and just be clearly willing to pour a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it, and have a convincing argument for why it matters.
Yep.
There's there's three major things for in terms of motivation. It's first of all, somebody's got to look forward to coming to work in the morning. If they're are they enjoying the work itself intrinsically? That's very important.
He's not wrong.
The right work environment can really make a big difference there. I think ideally is that they also feel that their rewards will receive fair financial compensation, that the financial rewards are good and fair. And then third, for the best people in the world, they'll want to know, is what they're doing going to matter?
Yep.
If
they spend 20 years doing this, will it make a difference to the world, or will people notice? Will it matter?
Can I get the next question, please? Lee from San Diego says, the X Prize just awarded $20 million in prize money related to carbon removal. Can you explain what the difference is between that and the Musk Foundation's X Prize? We had a $20 million Energy COSIA prize for pulling CO2 out of the smokestack of a natural gas and coal plant and turning it into a product more profitable in the cost of extraction. And we just, the two teams that won that were creating concrete, and they're up in scaling. So
That's cool, man.
Now it's, instead of just out of the plants right
really
now,
cool.
and thank you to Wyoming for their support there.
Making concrete out of carbon emissions. That's freaking cool, dude.
Level.
Okay.
Smart.
But what sort of tonnage are they able to do?
I actually don't know the answer, but Nandan from India says, can a 17-year-old register, given that I have the resources and ideas? Yeah,
I think so, sure.
I think
There's no age limit or anything?
there's no age limit, where in fact student teams are going to be important. Oli from London says, technology is a piece of the climate change solution, but how do you change behavior and habits? What do you think about that?
It's a good question.
I think changing people's behavior and habits is tough.
Yeah.
Or basically, if you're trying to convince people to make life more miserable for themselves, this is a hard argument to win.
Correct.
So with Tesla, when we created Tesla, we're like, okay, look, we got to make a car that's exciting and fun and looks good, and then people don't have to. If you're trying to convince people that in order to save the environment, you have to wear a hair shirt and make life miserable, and your food's going to be terrible. This is an uphill battle, okay?
Yep.
So at Tesla, we're
There
like,
it is.
we're just going to make electric cars that are better than gasoline cars.
Yeah. Faster,
Yeah.
lower cost for
Yeah,
maintenance.
they look beautiful, they're faster, and they have also, cool advanced technology, they're more fun, and you don't have to go to gas stations, which are nasty. And so, but you've got to solve the long distance problem with superchargers. So I think it is actually, going to be way more palatable to people if it's if whatever
What's wrong with a
solution
gas
is
station?
removing carbon does not make their quality of life worse.
Yeah. One last question here from Godfrey in New York. I know Godfrey. He is got ALS, and he is loving his fully self-driving Model S.
Okay, well,
I mean,
it's not fully self-driving.
Yeah, no, I know, but about
it's getting there.
It's getting there. It's getting there, and so he's. I mean, for people who are disabled, it's extraordinary technology. It's coming, and
gas
he's a
stations
brilliant,
you guys have.
brilliant human being. He says, "Hi, Elon. Big fan of your work. Massively and eternally grateful to you for being a powerful source of inspiration to me.
Discovery,
Can you
go and
please
throttle up.
share
Davi,
who
5-year warm
and
game?
what inspires you and drives you to be so insanely productive at a superhuman level?"
Good question.
So, who and what?
Processing.
Well, I don't know. I think I was always kind of like a crazy kid, I suppose. I was just very curious about the world and how do we come to be here? What's the meaning of life and all that? And I always had a really intense desire to understand things and learn. Yeah, I mean, I had sort of an existential crisis, I guess, when I was 11 or 12 or something, trying to figure out what it's all about, and ultimately came to the conclusion that we don't really know the answer, but if we increase the scope and scale of civilization, then we have a much better chance of understanding the meaning of life and why we're here, or even what are the right questions to ask. So, therefore, we should strive to expand the scope and scale of consciousness to better understand the questions to ask about the answer that is the universe.
Yeah. Well, on behalf of
Some
the
deep
human
stuff
race.
right there, man.
on behalf of everybody watching, Elon, thank you for
That's
all
some
that you do.
deep
I
stuff,
know you
dude.
work 24/7 and driven by passion. So,
Thanks.
yeah.
That's deep.
Just grateful for what you've done.
Jeez.
Thank you for supporting and launching this X Prize. It's meaningful beyond belief, and hopefully now it's everybody else's turn to try and dig in and form teams.
Yeah, I hope you'll have a good time and some productive stuff comes out of it. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would be awesome. For everybody tuning in, I know we have literally thousands of questions. We're going to be going to Twitter Spaces Live, which is Twitter's new audio chat feature. Dr. Marcus Extravor.
I don't
and
want
Zia
this at
Tata
all.
And I will be there to engage and
I don't want
answer
that
as
at
many
all.
questions as we can
I'm just
about
gonna
the
get
rules.
down.
Is this like Twitter's Clubhouse thing?
This is Twitter's Clubhouse, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So, pal, again, I'm going to be there tomorrow morning. Good
Okay,
luck with
cool.
the launch.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late night. I'll be up all night because because launch is pretty early in the morning. So
Yeah, I'm gonna tap on you for my invitation to the to Boca Chica for
sure,
a Starship flight.
it's pretty wild seeing that.
It's,
That feels like the future.
it,
That's pretty insane.
yeah,
Make it happen, Captain.
Buck Rogers, here we come.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
It's
see you
pretty
guys in
dope.
Twitter Spaces. Elon,
All right.
thanks,
Thanks,
bud.
Peter. All right.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks.
Don't boost the audio. Don't boost the audio. Don't boost the audio. I got it. I got it in time that time. I got it in time. I got it in time. Are you going to do an all-nighter? Of course. I wonder if Elon knows about cranes. We should talk to him about to him about some cranes. We should talk to him about some cranes. We should talk to him about cranes. He's like cranes. He's an engineer. I probably knows. I mean, the cranes that we watch are cranes that he bought. So I mean, I'm pretty sure he knows. Just check it out. Spent all day working on this infographic with every single detail accrued to. Oh, very nice. Very nice. Levy, you mind if I show that on stream? EJ, I know you're jesting, but you should reach out to Elon and ask for an interview. Serious. Why? He won't interview me, man. I get it. Oh, you won't know until you ask. Check this and give me your opinion. I discussed it already at the beginning of Space News. It's very cookie cutter, Forge. Who says I already haven't tried? You seem so sure of yourselves. Huh. Yeah, Killer Fun, I'm alright. He doesn't seem like he has time for that passing. I mean, who knows? Maybe. I don't know. I came in at the end of that, but towards the end of that conversation, but I haven't noticed what? Oh, jeez. Let's get the van. Now there are two of them. What is that, Linprod? Guys, I didn't even get like halfway through the Space News stuff. Oh god, there's two spots. Alright, yep, no, okay. What is a cookie cutter track? It's a track that seems like every other track. The Rotobug is close to some testing. There will be no fueling invested in 15 as no notices were handing out. He said some cool stuff about Starship early on in the stream. Yep. Elon interviewing me? What? Drummer, you ever have somebody say something to you that was so ridiculously stupid you just kind of ignored it and just kept going with the topic? Case in point. Yeah, you just kind of blaze over it, just no. Yeah, you just did that a second ago. Oh, I saw what you said. And I just glazed over it because it was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard you say. Yeah. I don't even need to go back in the chat. I know what you said. And then you're like, you didn't notice. Haha. Jog on. Glaze away. I'll slap you. Okay. All right. So that was So Elon and the gentleman that he was talking with we're talking about the X Prize. They're working on an X Prize for carbon capturing things, for carbon capture to curb climate change and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's pretty neat. Yeah, Peter Diamandis. Yeah, he MIT guy, if I'm remembering right. I mean, when I say I'm remembering right, I mean somebody in chat said it a second ago, but I'm pretty sure that sounds correct. If you had a time machine or whatever, fantasy tech, would you rather have the chance to talk to Elon for 3 hours or John Young for 30 minutes? If I had a time machine, I wouldn't want to mess with anything because butterfly effect. You have to be very, very careful. Who is John Young? What? Really? I forget, AG. John Young is Jebediah Kerman in real life, pretty much. One of 3 people to ever be out of low Earth orbit 2 times in a row. He's walked on the moon. He's one of the first Americans in space, and he was the first American to fly the space shuttle. He was the first American to command the space shuttle, and then the first American to command the space shuttle twice. Yeah. John Young flew 6 missions into space, 2 Gemini, 2 Apollo, 2 shuttle. He's basically Jeb in real life. The shuttle was nuclear. I don't remember saying that, but alright. Well, let's say it would not affect anything, like your future self has already went back in time. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know who I'd talk to. That's... I don't know. If I have a time machine, I'd just go talk to both of them. I mean, you have a time machine. Why don't you know? It's like, oh, I got to talk to this guy or talk to that. No. Talk to both of them. Let's talk to Elon for a little bit. Zap out. I mean, I could just do that. Well, we could figure out a way to do that, like, right now. Like, probably talk to John Young because Elon's still alive now that I'm thinking about it. Okay, Levy. If you could go back in time and make any design changes to the Plumbus, well, I always thought that the Fleeb juice was superfluous at best. They should have used a reciprocation dingle arm instead of Fleeb juice. I said forget the time machine part. Yeah, okay. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Let's go with space news. This is going in circles. So, here, check this out. Let's see. Where did we leave off with space news? Where was I at? Where was I? Here. We'll go back over here. All right, so NASA did helicopter on Mars again. No, Ingenuity took its second flight today. It involved going up, moving over a little bit to the side, going back, and coming back down. It took the upside down L. No, they were testing to make sure that it can translate back and forth correctly, and these will prepare for more flights in the future. So 2 helicopter flights on the other planet Hypik. All right, so the next thing is that the SLS Core Stage, we have a whole album of freaking pictures here. The SLS Core Stage was removed from the B2 test stand and is now on Pegasus, heading to Kennedy Space Center. It'll take a little bit of little bit of time for it to get there, to get to KSC, because it has to go down around the Florida Keys and then back up to the other side of Florida, through the Gulf of Mexico first before that. But we do have some really awesome pictures of them bringing the booster down. Yeah, they do. They do helicopter on Mars. Yep. So, And then Gavin from SpaceX Lead has reported that the Pegasus barge is on the move with the SLS Core inside. River tugs are bringing the barge down the Pearl River from Stennis to a waiting ocean-rated tug that will bring it to KSC via Port Canaveral next week. All right. All right. We'll see that thing in the VAB before we know it. It'll be pretty cool. Oh, hell yeah. Are they going to put each core stage on the test stand? No, you only need to do it once, Angry Pixel. I mean, if it was me, I would put everyone on the test stand, but yeah, I don't think they want to do that. Tug names will not be made public by any of the people tracking it. Interesting. Should be stacked around the middle of May. Yeah, that sounds right to me. Do you think the first Artemis mission will be in 2021? Yes. Yes, I do. Oh, gosh, Mason. Well, it doesn't need to go down a canal, but... SRB on a test stand would be wild. I mean, they do that. Altio out in Utah. They do that. Reason. Oh, interesting. Like a full 5-segment SRB on one test stand. Yes, out in Utah. Do you think it will be on the date that they say? Yes. Everybody loves to second guess NASA. Guys, seriously. They're gonna bring the booster to KSC. They're gonna finish the rest of the refurbishment. And then they'll stack it on the ML, the mobile launcher. They'll complete the rest of the refurbishment. And then what? Functional checks on the ML. Then you roll to the pad to check to make sure all your pad systems work. Then you bring it back to the VAB. Configure the vehicle put the vehicle in final configuration. Roll it back again. Probably do another wet dress rehearsal. Roll it back again. Roll it back and launch it. You think that's going to take 6 months? That ain't going to take 6 months. Spoiler alert. Yeah, that ain't gonna take 6 months. The only thing that would make that take 6 months is some catastrophic problem during testing. Yeah. Yeah, they'll be ready in time. Guys, look, we could sit here and we could say, oh, you know, like they'll launch it in 2022. The shelf life on the SRBs is very telling. They stack the SRBs inside of the vehicle assembly building for Artemis 1. Those SRBs have a shelf life. They started them in November. Okay? After a year, the SRB propellant inside starts to degrade. Yeah, that's a bad idea. You don't want to fire the SRBs after that. That tells me that NASA wouldn't do that unless they were absolutely sure. So I think we're in the clear. Yes, Christian. Yeah, Orion is fueled and ready to go. Or a Hurricane. I mean, that's the only thing that's kind of... That's the only thing, dude. Seriously. They wouldn't put the SRBs on there. Why would they do that? That's a waste of time if they weren't sure. Well, after a year, they have to recertify, not re-pour the SRBs. Yeah, I didn't ever say anything about re-pouring the SRBs, Hellfish, but sure. So yeah, they're gonna do it, man. I'm confident. I don't see any. There's no glaring thing that I see, you know, that's gonna change that. It's gonna be pretty awesome, man. Look at the people standing over there. Comparatively, it's a big freaking rocket, man. And it's on the move, so pretty cool. All right. Anyway, next news. Okay, here we go. Is Artemis 1 going to be manned? Negative. So this is coming from the German space program, DLR. We're going to the moon. DLR's M42 radiation detector will be on board Astrobotic's Peregrine Mission 1. The lunar lander is scheduled to land in the Lacus Mortis region at the end of this year. Oh, yeah. So Germany's going to put some experiments on the Peregrine lander. The Peregrine is part of a NASA program called the Commercial Lunar Payload Services Program, or CLIPS for short. CLIPS is a bunch of basically precursor missions to learn and understand what's going on around the moon. To learn and understand what's going on around the moon, basically to figure out what we need to do to get humans down there and get them operating on the surface for long periods of time. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. My company did a press release yesterday, starting in 2023 for our first satellite system launch. It's pretty exciting. That's cool, Predominant. I'm sad I'm going to miss Crew 2. I'm sorry. Well, speaking of Crew 2 is set basically for a launch here. Oh, my name is right over Thomas's name. At 5:49 a.m. Eastern. So we're about 11 hours out there. We're about 11 hours. I'm going to marathon all the way to the launch. Everything seems to be good. Now, couple of little things about Crew 2. Crew 2 is using the DM2 capsule. It is a reused capsule that was used during the DM2 mission last May, believe it or not, actually about a year ago. Actually, it is a year ago to the day, today. I'm pretty sure, unless it was the 27th or the 22nd last year. Marathon to the docking too, right? Nope. It was May, but I'm not sure when, NASA man. So it was about a year ago. DM2 was in May. Yeah, I know. What day? DM2 launched on the 30th. The 20. Yeah, okay. So it was scheduled for the 27th, and then it went out because they were worried about the lightning. I remember now. So exactly a year ago, that capsule went up into space. The cool thing about it is that the first stage on that booster is also reused. That's from the Crew 1 mission. So about 70% of this rocket has flown before, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool. It's not May yet. You guys suck. Did I tell you that? Okay. Yeah, you guys suck. Did I tell you? Well, if I haven't told you, you suck. All right, let's see. Let's keep going. So, the inspiration for... I said just... Never mind. You suck and I hate you. Yesterday, the Inspiration 4 crew launched... The Inspiration 4 crew visited Complex 39A at Kennedy Space Center in Florida ahead of Crew 2's launch on Friday, the last crewed flight of Dragon before Inspiration 4 launches in September. So this is the Inspiration 4 crew. They went out and saw the booster. Toxic Strimmer. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is me, right? Yeah, I'm the toxic one. Okay. All right. Oh, boy. You guys are just a whole bundle of fun. You know, you're not just the chicken leg. You're the whole chicken. All right, let's see what we got here. What else? So, a little bit of interesting things going on here. This picture's coming from Mary over at NASA Spaceflight. The weird test rig, getting into Starship news here. The weird test rig found its way to the launch site. Poopstomp.com. Yeah, chat, me and EJ hate you guys. Poopstomp. What? Oh my god. EJ, admit you start to like acting like bullying in air. See declaration of Russian magnate 1 week ago. Yeah, whatever you do, just wash your hands. Okay. That's weird. I'm trying to unpack that one. I don't know what that means. Anyway, so this next one is coming from RGV. I'm still not sure what this thing is for. Did we ever figure out where this thing wound up? It's at the launch site, but I don't know where it is. I'm not changing all those tires. That would really suck, dude. All right, so this is coming from RGV Aerial. The Orion Dreadship Kingfisher and support craft are standing by to deepen the Demos berth at Keppel M. Fell's Yard in the port of Brownsville. Interesting. It's between the two suborbital pads. Huh. Someone on Twitter who worked on it said it's for testing orbital flights. Huh. Interesting. How many repair kits would you need to fix all those tires? No. We don't talk about that. I don't. Posted that, so I'd assume it's not a fake account. Yeah, that's probably right. It's time to chug coffee. What's the game plan? Well, the crew for Luna 5 is out at the moon, if we're talking KSP. Yeah, we'll get that done. Here, the person deleted it. Hopefully last meal's on crew 2. Yeah. Nice. Now I'm hungry. Oh dear, now I'm hungry. Alright, well, let's see what's going on with Starship over here. And go from there. We have a NASA spaceflight video with Starship, and we will see what's good. This video is coming from NSF. Photos and videos are from Mary, Boca Chica Girl, who gives us pretty much daily updates here, and we'll switch it to high def and see what's going on. So that's a clamp. They're gonna clamp the thing and they're gonna lift it up and then they're gonna flip it over. Oh. Note all the holes in the hull. That's for all the Raptor engines to mount to. Well, the plumbing for them. There's the big crane. So yesterday we saw them do this, but we didn't have video of it. They're lifting the supports up into position. That's the supports for the orbital tower there. Speed holes. Yeah, fem, speed holes. Yes. That's exactly what that is. Gonna give them the clamps. She just wanders around the spots of the site, Snoodle, that are not labeled no trespassing. There's a bunch of wetlands around the launch site. That's usually where she films. And then NASA Spaceflight has those PTZ cameras that DAS set up. That's right, whoa. Yeah, Roadrunner, it's got an engine system up amid ship. up midway up the ship so they don't kick up too much dust. Dude, landing on the moon is like would be like trying to land an airplane on a runway made out of talcum powder. Yeah, it's gonna get messy real quick if you're not careful. Gotta watch out for them wild raptors. That's right. So that section with all the holes, that's what you're looking at right there. That's what is it? Is that B2? What was the thing? BN2. So that's booster. That's a super heavy flight booster right there. Yeah, darkness. I didn't know they had a porta potty right there. Just kidding. Just kidding. Just kidding. I like Dodge. I have one. Just kidding. Don't kill me. The glass is in? What does that mean, Phil? I feel attacked. Yeah, there's that thing. We saw that roll to the pad. That rolled to the pad today. Oh, the glass on the high bay. I missed it. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I see it in there. Cool. It has a dent at the bottom. Oh, my gosh. It does. Look. Don't worry. That'll buff out. Do you think BN2 will do a hop like SN5 or 6? Yeah, 62 I do. Yeah, it'll probably hop. I mean, yeah, it might, yeah. I don't see why you wouldn't, right? Like, 11 hours, Gojira. There's definitely some support platforms up there. Can you please explain to me what is BN2? It's a piece of the first stage that'll move Starship up into space. Booster number 2. BN2 is what it stands for, Westy. We'll roll out another sub-assembly left. 11 hours left, so you're really in for a long stream. Absolutely, man. Yep. No problem, Westies. Got you, man. Yeah, engineers are. I'll tell you, guys. Engineers aren't really good at dealing with customers. So they name stuff, and I take the specs from the engineers and I bring them to you, the customer. All right. Well, sometimes I take them down manually, or they're faxed. Graham, look, Prominent, look, I have people skills. I am good at dealing with people. Can't you understand that? The engineers don't like talking to the customers. What the hell is wrong with you people? Why can't NSF just bring it directly to the software people? Well. Oh, so, yeah, Exosphere. Well, hold on a second there, Professor. We fixed the glitch. So we won't be receiving a paycheck anymore. So it just kind of sorted itself out. What the hell is wrong with you people? Still funny, man. It's still funny after all these years, dude. It's a different mat with conclusions that you can jump to. As a help desk engineer with a degree in railroad engineering, I can confirm that I hate talking to people. Sorry, Pure. Yeah, it's a great movie, man. I love that movie. Okay, so they're installing more pieces here on whatever they're using to mess with the wings, I guess. Huh. Yes, it is in fact concave. Nice gooseneck trailer, though. Whoa. It's got spikes, man. It's got spikes. That looks like a building jig. That, like, they'd use it to start building one of the rings, and they'd form the ring on there. Well, not form it. They'd put the ring down on there and use it as a jig to start stacking. Like, see how there's like ring sections right here? They'd put one of those down, and then they'd stack the other one on top of it. So, Westies, that's BN2 right there. Hold on. This is not centered, is it? There we go. I gotta sneeze. Alright. Yeah, Westy, they got a couple of them in production, dude. I see forks. So this, I think this is for the orbital pad. I mean, it could be a prototype, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems like this is a pretty high fidelity thing. Look at, I mean, dude, I still can't get over how chonky this thing is. Look at how thick the steel is. I mean, that should be a pretty good indicator that it's not, it's not true. No, that should be a pretty good indicator that it's not, it's the real deal. It's not fake. Pad clearing is underway. Ooh. Oh, hi, Mark. Hey, Elon, what's new with you? How's your launch life? Wonder what crane they'll use for that. I did not hear her. It's not true. I did not. It's bull junk. So they put the second GSE tank in there. I think they're pining for a third over there on the left. Nice, that's cool. Biggie. Gonna be 8 in total. There will be 7 of them in total, according to NSF. Mason, there will be 7 of them. Yeah, Roadrunner, you think so? Dude, look at... Okay, alright, this is gonna sound stupid, but look at that flange. That flange is gigantic. It's like the size of a smart car. That's freaking huge. Mason. I mean... Oh, nope, not a flange, just... Well, they are. They're out... Well, actually, no, those are gussets, not flanges. Differences. Oh my god. Pecky, look at her flange. Nope, those were gussets. They weren't flanges. From far away, it looked like a mating surface, but they're not. They're going to use gussets to hold the truss segments together that hold that tower together. I just thought I'd pop in before I try to get some sleep for Crew 2 tomorrow, watching from on-site, and have to be there at 2:30. Nice. Those are my eye holes. What's the berm for? That berm separates the orbital launch pad from the landing pad. Yeah, starships tend to crash in that landing pad area, so I'm pretty sure they want to put up some type of defensive barrier from where the fuel tanks are out there. Yeah, that'd probably be a good idea. Ekim, 44-month resub. Thank you. It's growing up so fast. Would you skate down that berm when it's paved? Sure, why not? I could drop in. Yeah, no problem. Mad Dog, what's up, man? The LR11 350 crane loaded onto SBMTs. That's a big friggin' crane.
Discovery, go at
I'm
throttle.
not yawning, I'm making faces at you. Flandel, 42-month resub. Yeah, Jacobs, you really get the scale there when you see people walking around next to it and stuff. Grab the coffee. Dude. That's a big crane. Also, Ferd. It's fragile. It says it on the side, Roadrunner. That is a big frickin' crane, man. Look at how frickin' gigantic that is. And we've heard, and this is my oh, I heard this from a guy, I heard this from a guy. No. We've heard that there's gonna be even bigger cranes coming than that. They call that the Pavement Destroyer. Yeah, the reason why they have to tow it on the SPMTs is because the tank treads and treaded vehicles tend to ruin roads. Also Ferd. And Chevy Fagioli van. How much would something like that put you back? A couple million. So, alright. See how, if we back up a little bit, how big is that compared to the pad crawlers? That whole crane base is 1/4 of the pad crawler, drummer, give or take. So, see how this crane right here has you have the boom, and then you have this other piece right here? This one, that's called the derrick. The derrick on that crane is almost as tall as this. The derrick's like this tall. So that should tell you how big the boom is going to be on this if you look at the difference between the derrick there and the main boom. It's gigantic. Yeah, Thomas. Soon, man. Can we call it the derelict? No, because it's not really, really dirty. I just like saying derrick. A guy likes saying derrick. What is this? A crane for ants? How can people learn how to launch rockets good if they can't even stack the rocket on top of each other? This crane has to be at least 3 times as big! I have a vision. It looks like something that you'd see mining on another planet.
Discovery,
Maybe
go
like
at
a
throttle.
sci-fi or something. Hey, Savvy. Has it really been 5 years? That's scary. Anyway, how's it going? It's going good. Looks like the pad in Boker is clear for testing. Nice. Well, everything's bigger in Texas, Jim. That is a huge freaking crane, man. All right. They're gonna need a lot of boosters to get that to another planet. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong, boss. We got a catchy name for the new crane? No. It was the Russian word for gigantic. There's Bolshoi, and then it's like Gromini or something. I forget how to say it. Mount pillar on the orbital launch stand. Whoa, look at that. They call it Kong. Yeah, there we go. Ogromny. That's a mount plate. Now see that? That's a flange. That is a gigantic flange. That is a flange that if it fell on you, it would be like swatting a fly. every community graph shark calls the cranes different names. We have Bolshoi Chunguska and Ogromny Chunguska. We just call the cranes Big Chungus in Russian, and Gigantic Chungus. What did you call me? Nothing. See you tomorrow in class, Miss Vaughn. When crew 2. 10 hours. Давай, давай. Bolshoi Chunguska. You blew it! Alright, so that's what's going on down there. Let me sift through, see if there's anything else here. Speaking of crew 2, the beach shot is what everybody wants to see. Just remember, chat, life's a beach. Dig it. Wait. Wait. Oh, do it, NASA man. Do it. That's pretty rad, man. So that's the crew that's going to go up in about 10 hours. They're going to catch some sleep. They're probably sleeping right around now, actually. Well, actually, they probably went to sleep a little while ago. Sand in 0G must be the worst. Yeah, I hate sand. It's coarse, rough, and it gets everywhere. You know what's a good way to get rid of sand? Spinning. That's a good trick. What? It was funny, okay? Jeez. Prequel memes are best. Then one last one here from SpaceX of the... Oh, hey. What would I eat? What would I eat for my last meal before launching into space? You know what, Goalie? I want to sit here and think of the most exquisite food to show that I'm a very cultured person being launched into space. I want the chicken cordon bleu with... No, you know what I'd probably have? Probably the freaking huge hamburger. Yeah. Yeah. What was the joke? It was Star Wars. Star Wars. Yeah, I would probably get like a big burger. Like, you know, you think about that, oh, it's got to be something special, you know, your last meal before you launch into space, before you basically have to eat tortillas with peanut butter splattered on them for the next 6 months. No, I would get the most savory, disgusting, fattening freaking thing I could. Yeah. Yeah. Big Kahuna Burger. Check out the big brain on Brett. So college food on the ISS. So actually, I'd probably get like a bacon melt or something, which is it's like a grilled cheese. So grilled cheese sandwich. So 2 pieces of toast with butter and cheese melted together, right? And you take 2 of those, right? And then you take a burger with bacon and cheese on it, and you put that in between the 2 grilled cheeses, and you use the 2 grilled cheese sandwiches as the bun. That's what I'd probably get. Like, and then puke it all up after reaching orbit? What do you mean puke it all up? It's not like they eat and then get onto the spacecraft. Dude, this happens like hours before that. Yeah. Your freedom is showing. That's probably what I'd do. And then I'd get a huge side of bacon cheddar fries. And then maybe some wings. Yeah, some wings, some baked beans, just so I can piss everyone off on the spaceship. It'll be great. You know, that's probably what I do. Like, I'm as you know, everybody has to be, you know, weird and quirky and different now. No. I'm just like the most vanilla person you know. Also, extra Delta V. That's right. Yep. What about a tasty milkshake to wash it down? Yeah. Has to be a Neapolitan shake in and out style, though. Chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla all mixed into one. With some whipped cream on top. Dude, you don't have to worry about eating if you just get all your eating done before you launch into space. Right? That's how that works. You aren't that vanilla. You have 2 automatones. Okay, fair. No, John, I didn't. That'd be a terrible idea. Aren't the flight suits sealed? No! You doff the flight suit once you get on orbit, man. It'd be great. Just some Lucky Charms, GNAC? That's... Alright, okay. The problem with the bean plant is that you self-contain... Oh, God! Oh, no! I ripped one! No! How do you Americans eat so much? Dude. I don't know, man. Okay, alright. You don't know how hard it is for the Euro guys, unless you've been here, you don't know how tough it is to not eat some of this food. We get it. The food isn't good for you. I understand this. But it's so damn frigging delicious. It like checks all the taste bud marks, okay? You could sit here and you could sit here and you could be like, well, if I went to the States, it'd be fine. I wouldn't. No, you'd sit here and then you'd end up eating 4,000 calories before you even know what's going on. That's how that would roll, all right? Do not sit here and try to say like that wouldn't happen, okay? That's how that would happen. You'd come over here and you'd look at the food and you'd be like, oh my God, I can't eat all this. This is ridiculous. How many calories? That's how that would happen, all right? Don't sit here and pretend like it won't. Before Corona, I visited the state. Dude, the food is so hearty and so damn savory. It's comfort food, man. It's designed to make you feel good, and it tastes delicious. And you know, anybody that's from overseas that's like, no, that wouldn't happen. I would be just fine. No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. You don't know how much, dude. You don't know how much like discipline you need to have to not just go and pig the frick out every frigging day because the food is that it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Recondenser is on at Boca. Are you saying Europeans are thinner because we have bad food? No, I'm saying you're thinner because you have good food. See, and yeah, Wolfram laughs in Italian food. See, I got the worst end of that stick because, you know, I'm ethnically Italian and American, so Italian and American. So it's like here, have more food and then have Italian food on top of that. It's like worse. It's worse for me. Like, what am I supposed to do with that, man? I go home and, you know, my parents are like, here, have some more. You got to grow up to be big and strong. You have some more. I'm like, Ma, I'm 30 frigging 2, all right? I don't need to grow. If I'm going to grow, the only way I'm going to grow is horizontally. I'm not going to grow vertically. Yeah, lavatory. Well, that happens. Yeah, that happens to me too over here. It's freaking ridiculous. Yeah, and then Brimo's from the Midwest, so like I'm like triple screwed, man. What am I supposed to do with this? Is it very cheap food then? Drummer. Okay. Dude, I bought a 20-piece McNugget, 2 large french fries, and a chocolate shake. That's what I had for dinner last night because I felt like pigging the frick out. I usually am very careful about this. Like, right? And I don't gain any weight because I sit here for 12 hours a day and don't eat the food, right? I don't know. What did that cost me? Like 10, 15 bucks or something, man? It was nothing. It cost nothing, dude. It really costs nothing. It costs nothing. Dude, it's dangerous, man. Just 15. I think it was like 15 bucks at best. Like, and yeah, it's bad. It's, dude. Like, I get it. The food ain't good for you, but god dang, is it good. It is really difficult to not, like, just come over here and inhale food, okay? There's a new Boca vid? Oh, right. Move to Texas? Oh, caveman, that wouldn't end well. Okay, so we got a new NSF video. Here, we'll do that, and then we'll, we gotta get back into KSP. We got a lunar mission to do. Yeah, Dark Naze, trust me, dude, food is not expensive over here. It's really not expensive. And certain foods, they are like super inexpensive. But yeah, did I miss space news? You're coming in on the tail end of it. But yeah, guys, like, I mean, even, yeah, you go to places like Texas, the portions are even bigger. It's nuts. Like, hopefully, like, you can, like, if you're over from Europe, like, I get it. You guys turn your nose at, like, oh my God, America's so fat. Yeah, dude, no, I get it. We definitely are. But trust me, the temptation is always there. And if the temptation is always there, like, it's really hard to just keep that mental discipline, dude. You'll inhale like 10,000 calories before you know what's going on. When are you gonna move to Austin? Move to Austin? Why would I move to Austin? It's decadent as all hell, man. Hey, the leg cap, there it is. 10,000 by accident. Nah, it's not 10,000. That was an over-exaggeration. Bio, you'll come over here and you'd inhale 4,000 calories without even thinking about it. Austin is the new Los Angeles. Yeah, I don't want to go there. Really, Lego Lewis? Damn. Okay, a Domino's pizza, large, 13.5-inch pizza. The meat finder is 27 bucks. 27 bucks? What? Whoa! You're paying 27 for that? You pay 30 bucks for a freaking pizza for one pizza? Oh God, drummer, dude. Primo and I order Domino's sometimes. I get a whole pepperoni pizza. She gets a ham pizza. We get breadsticks, and the cheese poppers, and a 2-liter of Coke for that much, for 27 bucks. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It is dangerous. You'd be like, oh, it's so inexpensive. I'll just buy a whole pizza. Why not? Why wouldn't you do that? You're not helping to disprove the American stereotype. No, Sawyer, what I'm saying is that, dude, you seriously cannot help it. If any of these guys tried to live over here for like a year, you'd end up gaining 100 pounds. You'd gain 50 kilos, and that's not an exaggeration. It is, dude, it is really difficult to stay in shape over here. That's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I'm not fat, but like I said, I have the stream here, and I have regimented breaks, so I don't end up eating freaking, like, eating out an entire restaurant. You know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not gonna turn it into an eating stream. Home of the 72-ounce steak. Feel free if you can eat it fast enough. A 72-ounce steak. Oh, I want it. 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 I don't even care. I'd still pay for it even if I finish it. That's a 72-ounce steak. Oh, we gotta stop. We gotta stop. We gotta stop. Yeah, drummer, Little Caesars is even crazier, dude. Little Caesars for 20 bucks. You walk into a Little Caesars, you put 20 bucks down on the table, they hand you 4 pizzas that size. No joke. Fast and ready, man. That's what I'm saying, Geeson. That's what I'm saying. Trust me. It is ridiculous. When did we get past race 10? It's terrible pizza, but it's cheap. Excuse me, when lunch? Yeah, right, when lunch? EJ, look at this. Oh, this was your joke? Let me see. Oh. Hey, that wasn't me, man. That was the other Eric, okay? Oh, oh, you got hung up a little bit. Two large chip sandwiches here in Central California at $25. Jeez, man. Yeah, me too, Wong. I'm looking around and seeing if anything's different. Dude, look at the size of the dang tank. You gotta be kidding me, man. Oh, T-Man, I'd eat it. Guys, I got a garbage disposal for frickin' stomach, man. I have a freaking garbage disposal. I mean, do you see the food that I plow through on stream? Oh, there we go. Look, the sleeve looks good there. Yeah, Mason, I eat, dude. Ask Brimo. I eat a lot. Freaking pig the frick out. Like, I do this weird... My diet is like this weird intermittent fasting, not intermittent fasting. Like, I inadvertently do intermittent fasting because I stream too much, right? But the meal that I have after fasting is like 5,000 calories or something. Hey, keeps me going, man. I don't gain any weight. I pay like 18 to 19 euros, 22 bucks for a 10-inch pizza, 25 centimeters, and 6 chicken nuggets. What? A 10-inch pizza over here is a small pizza, Thomas, and they're like 8 bucks. Oh my goodness. Yeah, gee, yeah, no, I know, it's freaking 6'4" over here. I played football, man, what do you want? When you play football, dude, you go on that football diet and you end up eating like 4,000 calories a day. I just never stopped doing it. Like I said, welcome to the Netherlands. Dude, screw that. Thomas, you gotta come over here. You gotta come over here. In fact, when Thrawn was over here, I met up with Thrawn. He's a viewer in chat. I met up with him, and we went to. I took him to the most disgustingly heinous burger place ever. And he was like, "How can you eat all this?" I'm like, just like, you know. I thought it was funny. Oh my god. All right, I'm looking around, seeing if we see anything. Yeah, Vin, that's me. Hey, Phase Master, 20-month resub. And yet that burger place you took me to was fantastic. Which burger place did I take you to? Did we go to Tasty, Sawyer? We went to Tasty, didn't you? The same burger place. Same burger place, dude. It's the same place. When is launch? 5:49 a.m. Yeah, that was the place, dude. Sawyer, I ordered the most disgusting burger I could find on the menu. 5:49 East. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, up there. Top of the screen, Jay. Yeah, you got it, man. So we got a little bit of time. We're about 10 hours out. A large Big Mac meal is 10 bucks in the UK. Yeah, see, that's what I mean, man. Yeah, that's why you guys stay skinny, because freaking food's more expensive. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's all good, J-Shuff. All good, man. All the stuff for the last dinner. Yeah, John, that's probably what I'd have, man. They're building more of the tower here. Bartley's in Harvard Square. Nice. Nice, Engine Uber. Nice. I see you're a man of taste. Yeah, see? There's all those plates. And that's going to be to connect all the truss segments. Let me see. Let me take a look. How's the... So that's at a 45, and that one's straight. Guys, this is going to look like the fixed service structure. How long is the launch window tonight? Well, the launch window is 5:49 a.m. It's in the morning, Apollo, but I think it's instantaneous for this one. Oh, jeez, Geeson. Why would you subject yourself to that? Who decided to make it so early? Orbital mechanics. What's a large city in the Eastern Daylight Time? New York City. New York, Nikita. Yeah, New York or Boston are in the same time zone as Orlando. It's going to have a massive spine. Yep. Yeah. Interesting, Thomas. You can blame Jimmy Oliver for that? No freaking way. That guy put that? Oh, God. Imagine selling... Oh, God. He did that? Oh. SN15 has some vapors under the skirt. Gas lamps over there. We'll know by 5:49 in 3 seconds. My man. Okay. Yeah, see, they're installing those flanges there. Guys, we're going to see the orbital launch table out here sooner than you think. That launch table is going to be out here soon. Hey, so, okay, structural question here. So it's very clear that this thing, they're using steel cable to hold this thing into place. And that steel cable is no doubt bolted into some concrete. And the concrete is right, the level of concrete has to be like down here somewhere, right? So, are there any architects around here that know like anything about skyscrapers? Why would you do this? Why would you build this way? Why don't you just pour the concrete all the way up to the top and then build it like the launch pad? There's a reason why they're doing this way. To make it stronger. Thanks, S. Yeah. Yeah, but why is that stronger? Flex for vibration? I mean, Jim, that's what I was thinking, dude, but I'm not sure. Recovered season, stronger structure. That's not... Dude, that's threaded rod. Holy crap. That is some thick boy threaded rod. Holy crap. Man. This looks like... See, the reason I bring it up is because that looks like something that you'd use for a suspension bridge. Post-tensioning of the leg. Yeah, maybe. You don't pour concrete around fretted rod, Mason, do you? Easier to replace if something goes boom. Threads down there make it better protected. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Ogle, that's what I'm getting at. Why would you use that? Yes, you do. More grip. Interesting. Interesting. Man, that dude, whatever it is, it's heavy duty. Tension adjustments from the inside. You can pour concrete around threaded rod. Got it. Okay. How do they thread it though? That's what I'm wondering, Motorkid. How do you get in there and thread that rod out? How does that even happen? Do we think the plates are permanent? Maybe the plates are just to get the rod attached here, and then they'll take the plate off, and then they'll pour the concrete in or something. Do we know if there's like an access hatch in the center of this? Because yeah, they might pour the concrete. Okay, all right. There's a hole in the top. Well, there you go. There's your answer then. So that thing is just used to get the threaded rod into place. They're gonna screw the rod down or pour the concrete around it, right? And then they'll bolt the pad to that. What are those white tubes made of? They're metal, Gorn. Plates are probably to hold the rods while the concrete is setting. Got it. Tall building sway control and preventive braking stress fractures. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, AG, I got it. Thank you, guys. Yeah. That was not me trying to teach. I'm just trying to figure that one out. But they ground back the paint on the tubes as if they'll weld it. Yeah, that's really weird. Let me see this picture, Thomas, real quick. Oh, yep. They're definitely open in the center. This is a picture coming from RGV aerial. They're definitely open in the center. See them right there? Yeah, okay. They're going to pour concrete. Yeah, they're going to pour concrete down that thing. That's pretty obvious. Got it. Pretty obvious now. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to figure that out because I know people are going to be asking me about that. Interesting, some new. Today's NSF video came out a few minutes ago. Will you watch it today? This is quite literally it, Reagan.
Discovery, go at throttle up.
What the hell? Oh, that's the beer pissing robot. Nice. What the Wait, where's the beer pissing attachment? I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. This is getting out of hand. What's happening? I know, Phil, right? That's so creepy, dude. What the frick? That's the beer pissing robot. Just imagine a platoon of those things coming at you. Enrico, all I can see is like a platoon of those things coming out at me, and each one of them has like a handgun in the hand. I'd be like, run! No, get away from me! You know? Like, oh my god, that's scary, man. That's scary. Yeah, can you imagine if those things had machine guns on them? Oh my gosh. That would be horrible. Dude, that's nightmare fuel right there. They should give them Fallout voices? Oh gosh. Of course, Flight Sim, yeah. All I can think of is those damn robots in Half-Life, the combine crawlers. It's a dynamic test stand, S. I'm not exactly sure what it's for, though. Oh, I know, Raziel. Boston Dynamics is 5 minutes from my house. Seriously, I'm like, it's right down the road. I could go there and come back really, really quickly. Like a paint shaker? I don't know, S. In truth, I really don't know. It's some type of dynamic test stand, and it seems to be for aerodynamics, but I don't know for sure. They did fill the tile gorn as well, yeah. Should borrow one of their robots? I'm pretty sure that's called stealing. Yeah, John, I'm basically screwed, but they won't kill me. I'm also a robot. Are you near Natick where MathWorks is? No, but I know where that is. That's down Route 9, Astro. That's a little ways away from me. Yeah, I'm closer to the city. Much closer to the city than that. I know where that is, though, yeah. That's, I don't know, like a half hour? Something like that? Okay, I just want to point out the juxtaposition of the old pickup truck and some robots sitting next to it. Also, nice old GMC. That's a nice truck. Just the juxtaposition here of that and that. Like, what is happening right now? What is going on here? What's happening? Plot twist. The guy in the truck is controlling the robots. We're all gonna die. Dude, that is so sketch. Imagine walking in the woods and that shows up. I'd be like, yep. It's a good run, humanity. How do you just casually walk by that? Thanks, I hate it. What is happening? See, the guy walked by and then the robot went and followed him. How do we know the robot didn't just go beat that guy up? See? Now his friend. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. I'll just be right back. See? How do we know that's not what what the frick? Dude. What is happening? Yo, that is creepy. They are watching you. I don't like this at all. I don't like this. They're staring into my soul. They're using it to inspect the rocket, Spiffy, after it lands and before it takes off. Dude, what is happening right now? We're all gonna die. Did I have enough coffee? I should be good, Blinga, yeah. You say that, but Das started it with his fancy robot cams. Maybe Das is a robot. 70 G's a pop, Motokid. So, chat, what you're saying is that guy Tex is really a robot. And you're his boyfriend. So that makes you a gay robot. I don't think anyone's gonna get that one. Well, no, some people will. Some people will. Ace Ventura. Do people really not get that one? I'm old. I just dated myself again. Damn it. Okay, alright. Red versus blue. Red versus blue. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's right, Caboose. I'm a gay robot. Okay. Do you know that burns aren't
Discovery,
real?
go and throttle up.
I did know that. Taven gifted a sub to Westy. Wait, you're dating yourself? Huh? No. Alright. Thanks. Thanks, Strawn. No, Mason, I do not. Yeah, they're being weird, Graph Shark. They're bullying me. Please, what's that? No, that. On the very end. Yes. An additional work truck has arrived. Here's my toy truck. Here's my real truck. Cool. It's for the doggos. Yeah, it was carrying Starship fins. Cool. Alright, guys. I think that's everything. If NSF stops posting the damn videos, man. No, it's awesome what they do. And I'm eternally grateful that they let us show it over here. It might be small, but it'll get the job done. Yep. Sorry, Face. Yeah, right, Native? I do what I want. Whatever. Alright, so. Kerbal time. Let's play some KSP. So, coverage for Crew 1, or Crew 1. Coverage for Crew 2 starts at 1:30, so it's 7:30 right now. So 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Ooh. I got you for 6 hours, chat. 6 hours of playtime. So, I'm just going to go get another pot of coffee here, and we will start up KSP. Let's load it up. Bonesaw is ready. We got a long night ahead of us. Yes, in duty. Yeah, so if you want to, if you want to get a good amount of sleep before Crew 2 and you want to wake up for the launch, believe it or not, now would be the time to go to bed. But if you want to be part of the cool